You do not need to spend $100 to drink great sake. In fact, some of the best bottles I've had have actually been under $30, and the last bottle on this list is probably really gonna surprise you. A lot of people wouldn't even include it on a list like this, but there's a very special reason that I did. So in this video, I'm gonna show you my top 5 sake under $30, what they taste like, how easy they actually are to find, and why I picked each one. For this list, I did try and focus on bottles that were largely available in most markets. So of course that means some really good bottles that I want to recommend aren't going to make this list because it doesn't do anybody good if they're only available in very small amounts of market. But by the end of this video, you're going to have 5 great sake to keep an eye out for that are perfect for some everyday sipping. Before I introduce the first bottle, I do want to dedicate a very special kanpai to my newest subscriber, whoever you are, because I cannot see your name. So this is to you, and I do also want that to be a note to say, if you do subscribe to the channel, be sure to let me know by just dropping a comment down in the comment section below so I can shout you out in a future video by name, and I will raise a special ochoko and give you a nice kanpai in a future video. So whoever my newest subscriber is, this one's for you. Kanpai. By the way, my goal for the end of the year is to hit 1,000 subscribers. I know that's a big goal, but that's what I'm going for, and you're the only ones that can help me out. So again, if you like the content, if you've been enjoying the video, subscribe to the channel and you'll help me reach my goal. Now's also the best time to introduce today's sake for this video, and I will really introduce the front while I read from the back. This is the Todorigawa Yamahai Junmai, also nicknamed the Silver Mountain, and this is from the Yoshida Sake Brewery from the Ishikawa region, and it has a rice polishing ratio of 60% and an ABV of 15%. So what makes this sake kind of special is the Yamahai in the name. That is a reference to the brewing technique, which is a very more traditional sake brewing method. And the Yamahai method is great for imparting richer and more complex flavors. And this being the Junmai makes it also a pretty good candidate for heating it up as well. So I will be giving that a try before I finish off the rest of this bottle, because I really do want to know what this tastes like heated up. So that is the bottle for the video. And now we're on to the actual list, and let me just say, this is not about the cheapest bottles. These are about the best value, because there are some really good bottles to be had for $20 to $30. And so I don't want you thinking these are just the cheapest bottom of the shelf bottles that I'm recommending here. All right, let's introduce bottle number 1. And it is actually a bottle that I do have handy. And of course I've used this in a previous video, but bottle number 1 is, if you can see it, it is Dassai 45. And there's a lot of reasons to recommend, let me make sure. There's a lot of reasons to recommend Dassai 45. One, it is a Junmai Dai Ginjo. So you're introducing a Junmai Dai Ginjo for under $30. That's a premium bottle of sake. Like, one that's already pretty good. This is the best-selling bottle, you know, if you are to agree with how everything is sorted on the website. This is the best-selling bottle on tipsy.com, which is one of the largest online US sake retailers. This is one of their best bottles, and it can be had for around that $25 to $30 mark, you know, actually in stores. So again, I put this on the list because this is in fact premium sake, and spoiler alert, this is the only Junmai Dai Ginjo, or Dai Ginjo for that matter, on this list. This sake is light, clean, very aromatic. As soon as you unseal this thing, you're gonna start getting those aromas filling your nose, and you're gonna taste all that nice sake fruitiness on the palate. This bottle is widely available in most markets, so again, that's one of the criteria for me recommending it. But not only that, this is the bottle that you try and sway somebody over to the sake side with if they've only had bad experiences with sake or no experiences with sake. This is such a quintessential bottle to introduce them to. But that is bottle number 1, Dassai 45, and that is the only bottle on this list I physically have in my house. But that won't stop me from moving on to the next one, bottle number 2, and that is the and that is the Hakkaisan Tokubetsu Honjozo from the Hakkaisan Brewery from the Niigata Prefecture in the Horuriku region. It has a rice polishing ratio of 55%, so that technically makes this a Junmai Ginjo, and it has an alcohol volume of 15.5%. This bottle is usually floating around $20 to $25. This is a great example of a clean, dry style. You get some of those umami notes. It's got a nice, clean, refreshing finish on the palate. This bottle is pretty available in the larger stores, so probably not like a grocery store, but if you have those big chain liquor stores, you're probably going to be able to find this bottle pretty easily. Just like I said, don't expect to find this in like some hole in the wall liquor store or gas station. But this is also a really good bottle for people that feel like sake is just way too sweet. This is probably the bottle you've been looking for. That was bottle number 2, and now we're moving on to bottle number 3. One of my personal favorites, Rihaku Wandering Poet. This is from the Rihaku Brewing Company. It's from the Shimane Prefecture in the Chugoku region. It has a rice polishing ratio of 55%. So this is another Junmai Ginjo, and it has an alcohol volume of 15.2%. Now I will say this is the bottle that actually really got me into sake, like the one that I decided to go from only buying like the $10 to $12 bottles and really just decided to give something else a chance. And it's also pretty available. Like I found this for the first time at a Total Wine, which those are pretty prevalent throughout the country. But of course, I'll also have to be fully upfront. This bottle is technically the most expensive one on the list, as this is pretty much sitting at that $30 price point directly, and sometimes it will actually be above those $30. But trust me, I really feel like the price is justified, because even though this is a Junmai Ginjo, I definitely think it is punching above its weight, and it would definitely give some Junmai Dai Ginjos or regular Dai Ginjos a run for their money. On the palate, you're gonna get all of the fruitiness, but you're also, I'd say for me, I get more of a banana that kind of stands out on the palate. But it also has a nice body to it. Like this isn't like a thin sake by any means. This definitely has some viscosity, some weight to it. So you get a nice mouthfeel with this sake. And I'll always recommend this one to people really looking to try something else that's really good, that they may not have, like, you know, they may have been like me, a little hesitant to spend a little more, or they've tried a few, but they just want something that's like another kind of go-to on the weekend to like just sip through the weekend. This is the bottle I recommend to people. All right, so that was bottle number 3. Now we're on to bottle number 4, and that is another one that you may have already seen on this channel, and that is the Suigei Tokubetsu Junmai from the Suigei Brewing Company from the Kochi Prefecture in the Shikoku region. It has a rice polishing ratio of 55% and an alcohol by volume of 15%. This is also known as a drunken well, as you can clearly see on the bottle design, and you can usually find this bottle anywhere from $20 to $25. This bottle is a really good entry point for umami driven flavor profiles and those that really want to experiment with some of those more grain forward rice notes. And as I did in my temperature experiment, this is a good bottle that's pretty versatile. Like it still has a function on, you know, if you're having it chilled, but you can also heat it up and really start bringing out some different flavors and aromas that aren't off-putting. This sake is widely distributed and can be found in most liquor stores. So those are 4 bottles I think are great from a flavor and quality standpoint. But this 5th bottle, it's a little different. All right, the 5th bottle is the Gekkeikan traditional Junmai. I know, this feels like a rug pull. It feels like this might be kind of, oh, I'm trying to be so different with my list, but trust me, trust the process. I have my reasons. For one, you can usually find this bottle anywhere from $10 to $15. And what's even better is you can sometimes find the 1 liter bottle still for less than $30. And to be clear, this is not the most aromatic sake. This isn't the most complex sake. This isn't even the most just enjoyable sake per se. It's not trying to compete with something like Dassai or, you know, my Wandering Poet from Rihaku. It's just not what it's trying to do, and that's not what it's meant for. So the Gekkeikan traditional Junmai is from the Gekkeikan Sake Brewery in Northern California. It has a rice polishing ratio somewhere north of 60%, and it has an alcohol volume of 14 to 15.6%. This is undoubtedly one of the most available bottles of sake in the country. You can find this bottle literally just about anywhere, from grocery stores to big liquor stores to gas stations sometimes. This is also one of the few bottles on this list that works well when you heat it up. And here's the real reason I decided to include this bottle. Sake, for as good as some of these, you know, other expressions can be, sake isn't just about tasting notes and refinement. It's about the experiences that you have with it. And what better bottle to be on this list than the one you can just grab anywhere you are in the country practically, and just get together with friends, enjoy it over, like, you know, just reminiscing, enjoy it over like a cheap meal, and just watching anime, or, you know, anything, without, you know, really having to, like, you know, make the sake the focus. You can just grab this bottle and just enjoy whatever is going on in your life at the moment. Because I'll really be honest, I'd rather have a $10, $15 bottle of sake and just filling my little cups up while I'm talking and reminiscing with my friends than have a $200 bottle that I can swirl around in a wine glass, but I'm like by myself. Like, yeah, the bottle's better, but the experience isn't. And when you can get a full liter for less than $30, it just makes that experience so much easier to have. So I'm curious, when you're in the store or somewhere picking a bottle, do you try and grab the best possible bottle you can grab for the, you know, most or least amount of money? Or do you just want to grab something that you can enjoy with your friends without thinking too much about it? Let me know in the comments how you kind of approach buying sake. Those are the 5 bottles. And if you really wanted to hold me to it and you asked me to pick which of these 5 are the best, as biased as I am towards Wandering Poet, you know, I've kind of said that was my gateway bottle, I will still have to say that the Dassai 45 is, you can't beat it. Like I said, it's a Dai Ginjo. It's a Junmai Dai Ginjo from a very reputable sake brewery, one of the most famous sake breweries in the world. And it's pretty available. It's a great bottle for if you already are pretty into sake, or if you're trying to convert somebody into, you know, enjoying the bottle with you. It's just so versatile. It's so available. It's affordable. So I think out of my 5, I'd say, yeah, the Dassai 45 is the best when we're talking about value and everything else that goes into this list. But the key takeaway is this: the best bottle of sake doesn't need to be the most expensive one. It doesn't need to be the one with the biggest reputation. It needs to be the bottle that you need for that moment. If it's just, you know, you're getting together with some friends that you see every weekend, y'all don't need to make it a special thing, you know, especially if it's more about that camaraderie in that relationship, and the bottle is just kind of, you know, a little liquid lubricant. But obviously there are situations where you do want to, like, you know, be a little bit more, let's say, refined. Then yeah, this bottle or something even more premium would fit, but that's not always the case. It's just about the moment and the experience you're trying to have. And in the next video, we're gonna do a full bottle review of the Kubota Junmai Dai Ginjo, so you don't want to miss that one. If you aren't already a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you're notified when that video does come out. It's going to be the first bottle review I've done on this channel, one of many. Of course, there's so many there's so many bottles for me to review. So if you want to keep enjoying the world of sake and you want to do it with me, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. But until then, we'll keep learning, we'll keep sipping. Kanpai.